what I'm doing necessarily. I have the phone attached to my handlebars, and I don't know how the view's going to be. I don't know about wind noise and traffic noise. It is currently 30 degrees and not quite snowing, but there's some flurries. I don't know if anybody's going to see this, but it's real cold, and I'm going to be trying to control the phone with gloves on. So my intention, we're going to bike across the river in just a second, and I'll probably stop at the Riverfront Park and try to keep an eye on messages. I don't know if anybody comments if I'm even going to be able to see it in the mode that I have this on. Let's see. If you see this, comment, because, oh, there it is. How you staying warm? Well, I'm in layers and I'm not warm. All right, so we're taking off. The camera is going to be shaky, probably, and there's probably going to be some wind noise. And I just realized I don't have a mirror on this bicycle. So maybe we'll see me get ran over live. I don't know. Crossing the street. So I'll try to keep an eye on the chat so I can respond to anybody. And right now it's not showing me the chat, so someone just commented and it popped up, but it disappeared. So I'll probably stop here and there so I can try to see the messages. I don't know what I'm doing. I am on the priority bruiser currently. Dude, are you by Pomeroy? I'm about an hour and a half or so from Pomeroy. I believe Pomeroy is in Gallia County, and I'm actually in Lawrence County. So I'm in the southernmost county in Ohio. Yeah, it's pretty cold. It's about 30 degrees. My thermometer's not caught up. I just pushed the bike out of the garage, and the thermometer was in the garage was 50. So I got gloves on, so I'm gonna have a hard time controlling the camera. There was a dusting of snow outside this morning, but it melted. Let me see if I switch the camera angle. All right, bear with me, folks. I know the camera is going to be shaky on the end of this bicycle, but as of right now, I don't have a lot of options. I wanted to have an angle, like I wanted to have a camera aimed at me and a camera aimed forward, but the programs that allow you to do that are not free, and I currently don't have the funds to be spending any money. All right, we are crossing the bridge now into Huntington. This is probably a horrible method for trying to do this. I guess you probably can't see it, but the Riverfront Park is what we're looking at. That works okay. We got some flurries, nothing major. Now, it's pretty cold out here, but right now the only thing that's actually cold are my fingers and my face. My face is exposed to the air and it's pretty cold, and I have gloves on, but they're thin gloves because my thick gloves won't let me control the camera or the phone. These gloves have the little touchscreen stuff. If you're commenting, I really can't see it yet, but we'll get across the bridge and get over to the park, and I'll stop for a minute and try to go through the messages. Whew. Did I mention it's cold? So, it's Monday. Today is the Marine Corps birthday. So, it's my birthday. For all that don't know, I am a Marine. I don't really talk about it much, but it's my birthday. We are now in West Virginia. This is Huntington. I brought some thicker gloves on with me, and I might need to put them on because my fingers are cold. I'm trying to pay attention to this chat. I'm pretty sure Scott from Joyful Trails just dropped 10 bucks on me with the, I don't know what you call it, the super like or something. Shout out to Scott. He's probably just trying to pay me back for the ice cream. Oh, man. All right, I don't know if anybody else has this issue or not, but when it's cold outside, the back of my head hurts whenever I get started. It usually doesn't last very long, 15, 30 minutes maybe. Is that an issue for anybody else? I'm pretty covered up. I mean, other than my hand, my face isn't terribly cold now either, but my hands are cold. My fingers are cold. I brought the bruiser out with me because I thought there might be ice, and I thought I might need the fatter tires if it gets slick. Get a warm drink. You know, I don't really drink a lot of warm stuff. I don't like coffee. This is the downtown area of Huntington. This is Pullman Square, and we're pretty close to the riverfront. So I'm going to head over to the riverfront and let y'all have a look at that. And then I will jump back on and answer any questions. I'm assuming the camera is real shaky because I got it extended off of my handlebars and there's no stabilization on it. So let me know how it looks and if it's just too shaky to deal with. I am in the turn lane on the Veterans Memorial Boulevard. I am not wearing a mic. You know what? I might have been able to hook my mic up to my camera. I don't know if I could or not. I'm guessing there's going to be a bunch of wind noise, and this might be terrible. Audio is great. I'll be honest, I'm surprised. So this is the Riverfront Park, aptly named for being on the riverfront. I can't believe there's no wind noise. I'll be honest, I'm shocked. Maybe we're getting lucky. I don't know. I'm not moving terribly fast, but I'm still on a bicycle moving. Alright, let me flip this camera around and see if I can't answer some questions if there was any. Let's see. Maybe I can adjust it out here. I don't know if I can see. The messages are popping up, but then they disappear. Top chats, all messages are visible. All right, let's see here. All right, so how am I staying warm? I'm not. It's not too bad right now. I got a pair of cycling pants on, and then over top of the cycling pants is like some winter type pants. And they're pretty warm. This is the same pants that I wore when it was down to 14 degrees. On the top half, I have a wool base layer on, and then like an Under Armour shirt above it, and then just this jacket. This is my rain jacket that I use as a windbreak. And then I got these gloves on, but these gloves are not warm enough. I got another pair of gloves, but I can't control the buttons on the camera with my other gloves, so I'm just toughing it out as long as I can. And then I have my beanie on. I think what do they call it? Baklavas underneath it. And then I got a gaiter on over my neck. And that's it. Oh, and I'm wearing my bike shoes, and I got a pair of wool socks, and I got like this little cover that's supposed to block the wind off my shoes. So it's not terrible, and if I would shut up and ride the bike, I'd probably get warm. Mainly you want to have your skin covered up. I don't know why the notes keep disappearing. Let's see if I can find the next note here. Let's see. I already answered that I'm not in Pomeroy. It is quite cold. No snow on the ground. Someone noticed the billboard about releasing the Epstein files. I saw that a few weeks ago. We're hoping the shutdown ends. They're talking about it, but I'll be honest, until it ends, I don't trust it. I'm not talking politics necessarily, but there's 8 Democrats. Why is this? Member and super chat, all messages. There's some Democrats who are going to vote to open it, but it's going to be several days, and right now they're catching a lot of heat for even saying they're going to open it. So we'll see if they hold out. I don't know. What's Scott from Joyful Trails, folks, wants to know what's up. Nothing. I got nothing going on. For those that don't know, I'm a government employee. I haven't been paid in over a month, and I can't really spend any money to go anywhere right now. So I'm just trying to do what I can, and currently what I can is just biking around here in the cold weather, chatting with you folks. Let's see. I'm trying to go through these messages. High probability a crackhead in Huntington is going to ask for money or a cigarette. Well, you're not at all wrong. It's a little chilly, so I haven't actually seen any, but they usually hang out here where I'm at. Yeah, so Scott tossed $10 at me, and he says he's paying me back for the ice cream. It's cold out here. Yeah, I don't like biking in the cold either, but it is what it is. Jason, he's listed on here as our Journey project. I don't know what his name is coming from, but he hooked me up with $10 for a warm drink. I'm not wearing a mic, which I've already said. Making me nauseous. Sorry, Sharon. Let's see. No wind noise. Wind noise. Right now it is about 30 degrees. Jason don't like the heat. He says he doesn't mind this weather, or he'd prefer this weather over the heat. Let's see. Jason wants to go to Florida. You know, I had contemplated going to Florida actually this weekend. I kind of had an invite to go to Florida, but I can't really financially justify spending any money right now. So I haven't been paid since September, and I'm not so broke that I can't afford food or anything yet. Like, I'm not behind on my bills or anything like that, but I'm trying to prepare for the worst, and it's hard to justify spending money. So like last weekend I went for a bike tour, but I went to a bike tour just locally. Like, I just biked out of my garage and left. Sharon wants to know how she can make a donation. I think that's what just popped up. Apparently there's a little super like button. If you can find it, that's how you do it. I just turned it on, so I don't know that much about it. But if anybody else wants to type up how to do it in the thing, go for it. Yeah, the $sign somewhere. All right, so we're currently at the Riverfront Park, and we're going to bike to Ritter Park, which is on the other side of Huntington. So right now we're going to hit probably 10th Street and bike up through Huntington. So bear with me. I'm going to flip the camera around in a second and we'll take off. Alright, let's see how that works. I guess I should turn it around completely so y'all can see something other than my face and up my nose, especially with it being cold like this. Hold tight. All right, again, we're downtown Huntington, West Virginia. Downtown Huntington, West Virginia, and we're heading to Ritter Park. Oh, hang tight just a second. Right on the other side of the flood wall here, where we're about to go through, is a real nice locomotive. So we'll go check out the locomotive. They could use a nice caboose, but there's a locomotive, and I don't know what they call the coal track or the coal cart that holds the coal for the locomotive, but they have that, and then there's a passenger car. Might be super entertaining. I might get ran over. I don't know what that'll do for my views, but nothing's impossible. All right, check it out. You know, actually, this locomotive could use some work. It's out here in the weather and it's getting rusty. What do y'all think? That's pretty cool. Baltimore and Ohio, Carlos P. Huntington. You know, I should have brought my gimbal, but I don't know what I'm doing. I wasn't thinking about it. I was in the gym earlier today, and I may or may not have hurt my back. Hopefully tomorrow I wake up and it's all right. All right, let's climb up in here. I'm gonna get hurt trying to climb in this train. Ugh. All right, so we're inside the locomotive. This is where the conductor would sit at operating the train. And they got all these handles and stuff. And you'd have somebody shoveling coal out of this cart over here into the locomotive. Let's see here. A little for the extra calories you have to burn to keep. Hey Arnold, thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated. Hang on, I'm trying to get back out of here. I can't. I'm trying to climb back out of this train basically with one hand. One hand and an elbow. All right, let's flip this bad boy back around. I don't know if we can get inside of this one or not. I should actually keep an eye on the dang bicycle. Hang on. It's still there. This is Heritage Station. And they've turned it into like a little shopping area. Oh, thank you very much, Arnold, for the super like. I really appreciate it. I'll be honest, it's been a really rough month emotionally, and you guys have helped out a lot more than you realize. Not just like, helping me out financially, but just being around and listening to me whine. Uh, it's nice to know that somebody out there cares. All right, so that's the locomotive. We'll hit Ritter Park, and if I haven't stopped again by the time we get to Ritter Park, I'll stop in Ritter Park and check the messages again. Oh yeah, I'm on the Priority Bruiser. This, I thought I might deal with ice or snow today, so I brought this one out. He's got fat tires with 2.6 inch tires. My thermometer says 35, but the weather app says 29. All right, I am attaching my camera back here. Right now, the only way I have to go live is using my cell phone. So that's what we're on, is my cell phone. And I've been looking into ways to go live with better equipment. Apparently there's at least one other fella that does this. But the equipment for this is probably expensive. To be honest, I didn't even look. I'm not in the spot to be looking. All right, moseying on. I believe this is 11th Street. Now, in Huntington, the railroad tracks roll between 7th Avenue and 8th Avenue. And to go from one side to the other, we gotta go under the viaducts. And it's on 10th Street. Again, if you're watching, I appreciate it. I can't really keep too much of an eye on the chat, but I'll try to watch. For some reason, when someone chats or posts a chat, it pops up for just a second and then it disappears, and I gotta stop and hit the button to get it to come back up. So if I happen to see it when it comes up, I'll respond, and if not, I'll hit it when we stop at the park. Now, I don't have a mirror on this bike, and as soon as I hit the road, I realized it, and I'd rather have a mirror on the bike. I don't. Hello. It's Monday. Sometimes I forget that it's a work day because I don't work Mondays. And, I shouldn't have done this at noon since that's lunchtime. Who's going to yell at me for running red lights? I read an article yesterday or the day before about how cyclists shouldn't stop at red lights or shouldn't wait for traffic signals. Obviously, you should stop to see if traffic's coming. Not that I'm making excuses, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm fasting today too. I'm now on I think this is the 3rd or 4th week without any carbs. and I'm going to try to fast at least 24 hours every week. I actually bought a pair of glasses that had a mirror like in the lens, but I didn't like it. It's not the kind of mirror you're referring to that clip on. The kind that clip on is actually probably what I should be using. That way I'd always have them. But I bought glasses that had a mirror on it. And the problem with those glasses anyways, with that mirror, is you still had to turn your head to the side to see behind you. And to be fair, that'd be better than nothing. But I don't really want to have to turn my head in order to see. And I usually have, on the other bike, I got a mirror that attaches to the bars. And it works really well, but I forgot to bring it. This is the viaducts here. So we'll be going underneath the tracks and coming back out on 8th Avenue. Now we're only a few blocks from Ritter Park at this point. The hub on this is not nearly as loud as your Trek, but I bet Joe would still not appreciate it. I haven't had any issues with this bike. I haven't ridden it full time since I've had it, but you know, it serves the purpose. And you guys don't like the massive benefit is cleaning it is super easy. And if the chain's dirty, there's no chain. If it's dirty, it doesn't matter. It still works just the same. Unlike on, you know, a normal bike with chains and cogs and derailleurs. Oh man. We got some decent colors in the leaves over here. It's not nearly as cold as I thought it would be. In fact, I'm probably dressed too warm. You want your skin covered up, and that's the main thing, is keeping the wind off of you. That's what we call roll stop right there. So this is 10th Street in Huntington, West Virginia. And this a block or two from Ritter Park. Now, Huntington has a pretty nice park. The land for the park was donated well before my time. Yeah, I was trying to hook up the DJI camera and run it live through the phone, but the network doesn't run that well, and I wasn't sure that it would work once I got moving. really got to keep your head on a swivel out here. Make sure you're watching for cars. Hey, I don't know. This is the second time someone has mentioned sending me an e-bike, but I talked to some company and they're supposed to be sending me an e-bike to try out. Obviously they want to see me on an e-bike in a video. Let's see if we can get across the street here. All right, folks, this is Ritter Park. I've got the fountain going. Let me get away from the fountain, it's lazy. Whee! All right, I'm gonna see if I can't check the messages. Let's see. I don't know why the messages don't stay up. Let's see. Yeah, I have my I have two things covering my head right now, and it's working. I can always put the hood of my jacket over my head, but so far I'm all right. All right, we caught up with the messages. I'm paying attention currently if anybody has any questions. Yeah, it's definitely cold here. You know, I checked one of those apps about live streaming more than one camera at a time, but it wasn't free, so I didn't look that much into it. If you guys enjoy this, I'll probably look into it once the income starts moving again. All right, we're gonna adjust this camera and roll through Ritter Park here. I didn't see any new comments. I don't even know what time it is. 38, must be about 12:40. OBS is free. Well, apparently I looked at the wrong app. Hello. All right, we're moseying around. This is Ritter Park. We got some leaves falling. A couple people out here taking a stroll. Y'all have any questions, let me know. Probably roll through Ritter Park here and then turn around and head back to the house. I'm trying to stay busy. Last weekend I did a bike tour, but I just did a bike tour here locally. I just left the house and I rode to Gallipolis, Ohio and Point Pleasant, West Virginia. I haven't edited the video yet, but it ought to be pretty neat. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Point Pleasant, West Virginia, but Point Pleasant, West Virginia is a place where back in the 60s, 66 and 67, and you know, whether you believe in this stuff or not is beside the point. The story is still cool. A cryptid named Mothman was spotted, and the very first spot that the Mothman was spotted is a World War II era TNT factory that even in the 60s had been abandoned at that point. But the storage domes for the TNT are still there. And I went and I stealth camped in one of those TNT bunkers. And I'll be honest, it's kind of freaky. The TNT bunkers are great big round concrete domes, and they've got double doors on them, and every little sound from outside echoes into the dome, into the bunker, and it's extremely loud. So even a noise that you wouldn't hear standing outside of the bunker, inside the bunker, you can hear it. But I went and I did 2 nights. I camped in someone's yard in Gallipolis, and the next day I rode a trail in Gallipolis, just a short bike path, and then I rode over to West Virginia to Point Pleasant and camped in the TNT area. It was quite frightening, to be honest. I wasn't really worried about like any Mothman character or anything, but I was worried about a bunch of drunk teenagers finding me out there and locking me in. All right, let's see. Where is your snow? It's snowing, but there was snow on the ground this morning and it's already melted. And it's kind of, we got flurries going on. I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's some slight flurries. We're at 42 minutes, so we're probably going to head back towards the house. Any questions, comments, concerns? Oh, I can never remember anything. I should probably start making notes. I have opened up a members area on this dang channel, and my point of the members area, the reason for opening it, is because I'm under the impression that YouTube is pushing content or pushing channels that have the members area activated. So I activated that. I'll be honest, I don't know what to put on it because I don't want anybody to miss out on anything that I post. Like, if I post something and you guys watch it, like, I mean, that's really all I want is for folks to watch my stuff. But it's open and there have been some people sign up for it. Right now, what I'm doing is any video that I upload, I'm releasing it a week early on the members area. And then I've also activated the super likes thing. Scott from Joyful Trails mentioned it. I didn't even know that it was a thing, but again, I've researched it, and I think YouTube is pushing the channels that are using this stuff. So it's activated. I don't really expect anybody to donate or throw some bucks at me. If you do, obviously I appreciate it. But if you don't, I appreciate y'all hanging out and checking out my stuff just as much. I think that's it. You know, I'm trying to keep up with my content. This lap in funding has kind of messed me up. I'd planned on going down to the Greenbrier last month with the fall colors, but I've missed that because I couldn't justify the gas to go. But my intention is to try to have some video every week for as long as I can. I don't know. Right now, I have stuff basically posted through December. So my regular release time currently is Fridays at 10 a.m. And I might change the release time. I don't know. But I have stuff coming for every week for the next 6 or 7 weeks, with the intention, obviously, of getting to film more before I run out and try to keep everybody entertained through the winter if I can. I don't know. All right, we're gonna roll back out of here. So I think this is 13th Avenue, which rolls through Ritter Park here. These are where the nice houses in town are. Someone commented, but I missed it. I think it was something about the teenagers. I was quite concerned that a bunch of drunk teenagers would find me asleep and lock me in. To be honest, I don't know if they could get up to one of them without me waking up in the first place, because everything is noisy. How you doing? Not too bad. How's this dang camera? Is it still all right? I'll probably watch this later myself so I can see how shaky it is. We are now on 8th Street, heading back towards downtown. I will probably shut this down when I get back to the bridge. I really don't want to have live video of me riding back to my house on YouTube. I used to joke about wanting stalkers, that it would be good for my self-esteem, but I've changed my mind since having one at one point. So, we're in about 45 minutes. My toes are a little cold, so my shoe covers are not working very well. My hands are no longer cold, and I'm fairly warm. Slight headwind, but I'm not going very far, so it doesn't matter too much. I did my trip last weekend. I think it was 140 miles I did in 3 days. And I didn't eat any carbs. And to be honest, I didn't eat enough calories. And by the time I made it back to the house, I was about dead. So Gallipolis is east from my house. So the ride to Gallipolis, counting any videoing I did, was about 4 hours. And then on the way back, biking west, I had a headwind, and it probably took me 5.5 hours, and I hardly videoed at all on the way back. Whew. You gotta really be cautious riding around town. You gotta watch for people making turns, even when their turn signals aren't on. Really gotta pay attention. You'll ride in the right lane, you'll have people pass you up that is trying to make a right-hand turn. and they'll cut you off or run right into you. And you'll have people coming at you in the left lane trying to turn left without a turn signal on. Camera's probably more shaky in areas where I'm going slow and hitting bumps. I really miss my dang mirror. I didn't plan this out very well. I went to the gym this morning, and when I got home, I laid out my clothes I was going to wear, and I tossed out my battery, and that was about it. I didn't actually plan on riding this bike, but I decided with the snow, it'd probably be a good idea. So, if you're watching this, let me know what you think. I get asked about doing live videos a lot. Nobody's ever mentioned a live video on the bike before, I don't think. I thought it'd be neat to do something different. I've done a few live videos when I went to South Dakota, and I enjoyed that quite a bit because I was by myself, and doing the videos and chatting with y'all makes me feel like I'm not by myself. I get lonely, folks. I get lonely. Yeah, so if you actually watch this, let me know that you watched it. Like and subscribe, comment, whatever. I don't know if anybody watches this that ain't subscribed. I mentioned somewhere else that I didn't know if anybody does live video from a bicycle, and someone pointed out some fella that does. And I started checking out all the equipment the guy has, and it's nuts. I didn't even bother pricing it. But if everybody likes this, maybe we'll jump on some live video equipment. I don't guess anybody would want to sit and watch me biking around Huntington all the time, but maybe when I go other places. Passing the courthouse over here. I suppose y'all can't see it with this dang camera angle. You know what would be cool is if I could go live using the drone and stuff too, but I don't think that's possible. Well, it's certainly not possible with what I have. I guess if I had more equipment, I bet it's possible, but I'd probably need help. I need a production crew. This is 3rd Avenue. This is a block from the bridge. I'm going to stop right before I get to the bridge here and see if there's any comments I need to respond to, and then shut this live stream down because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to have a live stream headed back to my house. My oldest son lives with me, and he's already like, you need to be more careful about letting people know where you live at. apparently Bob Evans has cinnamon rolls. Passing Bob Evans here. I'm fasting today, so that means not eating anything at all. And I haven't had a carb in over 3 weeks now. So as much as I might like to have a cinnamon roll, there's no cinnamon rolls for me. Whew. All right, folks. Let me see if I can get these messages up so I can respond to the messages. I gotta figure out how to keep the messages up. Let's see. If the teenagers would have locked you in, which body part would you have ate first? You need your legs to bike. I don't know. I could survive fasting for quite a while. Definitely got to be prepared for getting caught out in any weather. One of the things about this time of year is you could be good and warm, but you could also end up freezing, and you really need the stuff to keep you alive if it goes bad. Oh yeah, Jason was notified to keep an eye out, and if I didn't message Jason within a certain time the next day, he was calling the popo. Let's see. You may get your own crazy Arkansas. Yeah, I don't need. I joke about wanting a crazy stalker, but there's no way of saying that your crazy stalker is going to be a woman. Hello, trail rider. What's the weather like in South Carolina currently? Yeah, dressing is time consuming, and one of the things about dressing is you got to dress really quickly and then get out of your house so you don't start sweating before you even leave the house. 14 degrees. I don't think I'll bike colder than 14. Excuse me. Last year in the Cranberry Wilderness, it was 14 degrees, and I think that's the coldest I've done. Let's see. Yeah, if you start adding up the amount of money that someone spends, it can get costly pretty quick. Like, you need a pretty high-end computer just to edit video. My thermometer says 34, but the weather app says 30, so I don't know. Whatever it is, it's cold. If you guys are watching, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm going to sign off of here and then get back home. I'm at the bridge now. Let's see. That's the bridge. And I don't want to bike all the way home on live. I don't want to. I don't need anybody showing up to my house. But y'all fine folks will be all right. Look, the snow's picking up. All right, folks, I'm signing off. Thank you very much for watching. Stick around. I got content coming every week for the next 2 months. And we'll see what happens with this dang government shutdown. My intention is to continue doing trips throughout the year. It'll change a little bit. I don't want to be 3 days away from my car when there might be a blizzard. All right, I love you guys. Have a good day.